Okay, welcome. My name is Dr. Kernahan. I'm the head of Religious Studies at Marling School, and this is our Religious Studies 2023 exam walkthrough for the GCSE Religious Studies short course. Our exam board is EDUCAS, and that's the specification you can see at the bottom of the screen. This is for both parents and students, and uh, and you'll find the full resources that we're talking about here on our website, marlingre.net. So what we'll do in this video is we'll have some basic exam dates and protocol. I've put together some FAQs, 20 frequently asked questions that parents and students ask. I'll then flag up some key resources, revision resources, and some key revision practices. And then there'll be a slightly extended bit of this talk that will hope to create expert parents who help expert students do really, really well in the exam, and that'll cover things like command words and key vocab and glossaries and the syllabus and possible exam questions and model essays and more. So let's get going. So the exam dates, Monday the 15th of May, AM, is component one. That's relationships and life and death, two 30-minute sections of these two topics we did in the autumn term and in the winter term. A week later, on Tuesday the 23rd of May, PM in the afternoon, that means a 1 p.m. start. So you need to be there sort of 12:40 to do that. You'll have an early lunch. Is component two, Christian beliefs and teachings. And Tuesday the 6th of June, after the half term, is component three, Islamic beliefs and teachings. So once again, the AM session started at 9 a.m. Students should go straight to the examination hall. That's the sports hall for 8:40, and they will be brought in 8:50, and they will start the exam at 9 a.m., something like that. 12:40 for a 1 p.m. start in the afternoon. Exam hall etiquette, if I can just speak to that, you will have from the exam office your seat numbers. You will, in the exam hall, there'll be numbers and letters in like a battleship formation, so you can find where you sit, and you need to know what seat you're in, 6A or 12B or whatever. That'll be sent out on EduLink. It'll be in your profile. You'll also get it via your tutors. And when you go into the exam hall, it's like you're leaving Marling, you're entering exam country. And in all seriousness, I need to say this, you could get reported to the exam board and disqualified from all of your GCSE papers for cheating in any way. Now, what does that mean? Well, if you have a phone or a electronic smartwatch, that's seen as cheating. And you can imagine other things as well if you're trying to copy off somebody else. So be very serious about entering the exam hall. You're not allowed to talk even before or after the exam paper is finished. Bring extra pens, black biro please, and if you're using a water bottle, make sure it's see-through. So some FAQ questions. The A questions relate only to the 8 concepts. We'll see this when we look at the glossaries. The A questions relate only, and that's true. The B questions describe our type questions. Again, that's true. The C questions are explain type questions. Okay, so and you could answer this from 2 religions, or in the way that we've taught it, 1 religion with different religious traditions. That's true. C questions are appropriate for non-religious responses. No, that's false. C questions will never ask you for a non-religious response to the topic. So just use religious teaching in the C part question, B part and A part question. D part might be different. Component 1 can be taught from the perspective of 1 religion, but with diverse views. That's true, and you really should refer to the diverse views. We've taught Christian views, so liberal, Protestant views, Catholic views, and so on. D part question is the only question that targets assessment objective 2, where you have to do discussion work. Again, that's true. You really should. 5 of your 15 marks are for discussion. You should do that. Question D, component 1, demand the inclusion of non-religious beliefs. That's true. In Route A, which is your philosophy and ethics, you might have to refer to, and you should refer to, non-religious beliefs in the D part question only. All D part questions include non-religious beliefs is true in the sense that you could evaluate or critique from a non-religious perspective. D part questions can but do not have to include arguments for and against the statement. You could do 3 arguments for, but it would have to be from 3 different viewpoints. Okay. Personal responses can also fulfill, well, yes, some of the grade criteria, what you think, but it needs to be backed up with reasons in your terms of your discussion work. Responses that offer no personal opinion will be credited. Well, that's also true. You don't actually have to, even in the 15-mark questions, give a personal opinion. What we're looking for is an impersonal kind of evaluation, a discussion of any given argument by any given person to get those extra 5 marks out of 15 for your AO2 writing. Quotes from sources of wisdom and authority include figures of authority, i.e. the Pope or someone like that, as well as references to sacred and important texts. That's true. It's not just sacred texts. It's leaders of faith, and it could be reports, say, from the Methodist Conference and more. References to specific passages, like John 1, verse 14, not necessary. You don't actually have to give the reference. You have to give the quote, and even if you just say, it's from Jesus, or Jesus said, or something, that'll be fine. Teachings and text don't need to be quoted directly. An accurate paraphrase used appropriately will be credit worthy. Well, yes, that's true. Just paraphrase quotes is fine. Lines do not have to be filled. There's an indicative number of lines in the exam board that the average student who gets full marks would use. That's the way it's kind of laid out. Positive marking will be employed is true. So always add stuff, even if you're not sure. You'll never lose marks. So always add stuff. Don't make stuff up, but if you do think you've got a quote to give or an argument to give, do add it. We can't exactly predict the exam board grade boundaries before is true. We don't know what the exact grade boundaries will be, so we've only been given average grade boundaries in the last few years. SAMs and other PEQs are available on the Marling website is absolutely true. Great place to go, marlingre.net. The criteria for marking bands is all that will be used to reach judgments. Again, is true, nothing else. And SPAG marks will be applied to the first D part question of components 1 is true, and 2. So it's the first question of component 1, so relationships question. Make sure you're spelling, your spelling for that. But spelling's good to have. So those are the FAQs. I wonder if you've got other FAQs. If you have, you can email me or on the Parents' Evening talk to me about those things. So general revision resources. The website, marlingre.net. Great website to use. Lots of predicted questions, knowledge organizers, practice questions, PEQs, Model SE answers, advice and answering, learning journey booklet answers, quotes, revision posters, learning mats, exam booklets, and more. How do you learn your quotes? How do you learn your vocab? Well, go to Quizlet. That's a great thing. And if you just want somebody to tell you what to write and how to know stuff, use the YouTube channels. All 4 topics are there, and you can find them on the links here. Further, the BBC Bite Size website is actually very good, especially on the Christian teaching and Islamic teaching bit. There is a revision guide, which is okay. I like my learning journey booklets as much as this, if I'm being honest, or more, but it's not a bad thing to get. And alongside that, there's a workbook as well you can get. But again, that's just questions that we've got on our website. But again, if you want it in one place, that's a thing to go for. You can buy them for pennies secondhand off eBay or Amazon. Now, revision practices. I want to talk about 3 things: content, skill, and feedback. Good students revise content. Great students develop skills. Outstanding students seek feedback. So reading notes, textbooks, making mind maps, summarizing notes, highlighting notes, flashcards, posters, Model SE answers. All of that's good content. But reading Model SE answers, practicing Model SE answers, doing it in timed conditions, that's even better. That's developing your skills. Best of all is using mark schemes, studying examiners' reports, marking work in pairs, getting a teacher to mark your stuff, creating your own exam questions, getting work marked. All of that is what the top students do. That's your practice. As you get closer to the exam, the more you can do of the feedback stuff and the skill-based stuff, not just content, the better. Now, what else is in terms of the key revision practice is to have the dates. Have a calendar with the dates coming up fairly soon, the next 3 or 4 weeks. And then what are you going to do to revise? What topic, what part of a topic each day, making flashcards. Maybe you do it before school, maybe you do it after school. I know you're in school, maybe you might get some time in a lesson to do stuff. Have a little revision planner is a good thing to do, especially when it comes to the week after the first two papers in the half term. What are you going to do in the half term to revise? So I'm going to pause there. The next bit's going to be a little bit extended. It will be an exam walkthrough. So that may be enough for you. The next few slides will look at becoming expert exam students and parents.